Darkstar, that was his name. A lizard thief in a world brimming with magic. He hadn't seen the city gates of his people in a long time, but a summons from the Thieves Guild left him no choice. He walked the familiar streets, watching lizard children play where he once did, an orphan carving out a life from nothing. Good memories, bad memories. They all came flooding back. He shook the thoughts from his mind and stepped into the nearest tavern for a drink. The humanoid lizard thief, Darkstar, sat in the darkest corner of the dirty tavern, nursing a large mead and a bowl of stew. He was lost in thought, wondering why the Thieves Guild had summoned him. It had taken him 2 grueling weeks to travel halfway around the world, back to his home city, the city of lizard humanoids. It was also home to the guild's current leader. Suddenly a voice cut through his thoughts. Darkstar, is that you? He looked up. Standing before him was the most beautiful lizard female he had ever seen, his old girlfriend. Darkstar, the lizard humanoid thief, stared in disbelief. Standing before him was Jessica, the very reason he'd fled his home city 80 years ago. Jessica, is that you? He whispered, his voice rough. You're still the most beautiful lizard woman I've ever seen. I've traveled the whole world, and I know it's true. Crack, her hand met his cheek. That's for leaving. Crack, another slap. That's for not taking me with you. Then, she grabbed him, pressing her lips to his. And that, she murmured, is for making me miss you. With that, she turned and walked out of the tavern, leaving him stunned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales. The tavern door slammed shut. Just before the lizardman could chase after his ex, he slumped back, defeated, but the door creaked open again. This time, 2 hulking figures in dark robes stepped inside. Spider, their multiple eyes locked onto him instantly. He knew who they were, guild enforcers. They strode right up to his table. Why do you keep the guild waiting? One of them hissed, their voice like scraping chitin. Before he could answer, they grabbed his arms. To the guild we go. The small lizard thief sat before the largest lizard humanoid he had ever seen. This was his first time meeting the new leader of the Thieves Guild. He remembered the last leader he met 100 years ago when he first joined the small blue lizard. But this one was a giant. The enormous lizard looked down at the thief, a dark laugh rumbling in his chest. I have a job for you, he said. The air grew thick with anticipation. The lizard thief, Darkstar, stepped out from the shadows of the guild, a new map clutched in his hand. His mission, a direct order from the giant lizard guild master himself. Retrieve an ancient amulet from the heart of the zombie city. A powerful magic held the undead captive, but countless adventurers had already perished within its walls. Their greed, their downfall. Now it was Darkstar's turn to test his skill and his luck against the cursed ruins. 3 days ago, the lizard humanoid thief, Darkstar, slipped out of his city, a map his only guide. He followed an old, forgotten trail, leading him deep into the northern mountains. Finally, he stood at the edge of a great valley, gazing down at the ruins of a once majestic city. But this was no empty relic. It was a prison, a magical spell trapping a horde of zombies within its crumbling walls. He'd made it this far. Now, the real challenge begins. Getting in, and more importantly, getting out alive. Darkstar, the lizard humanoid thief, perched atop the crumbling guard tower, his reptilian eyes scanning the sprawling desolation below. This was no ordinary city ripe for the picking. This was an ancient ruin, a graveyard patrolled by the shuffling dead, all trapped within the shimmering confines of an ancient spell. Normally, the night and the rooftops were his allies, his highways through bustling streets. But here, the rooftops were treacherous, and the night offered no true cover from the mindless horde. He needed a new plan. The night finally broke, yielding to the pale light of dawn. Outside the crumbling walls of the ancient city, a lizard-like figure completed his work. He had spent the darkness setting magical traps, a clever insurance policy for the dangerous task ahead. His target, a mysterious amulet hidden somewhere within the zombie-infested ruins. He planned to sneak in at high noon, hoping the sunlight would offer some advantage. The map in his claws was his only guide, a fragile hope against the undead horde. He just had to get close. The lizardman thief had been watching since yesterday afternoon, studying the undead shuffling within the ancient city ruins. He saw how they hugged the outer walls, a magical barrier keeping them trapped. Their groans a constant, desperate chorus. Late last night, he tested them. A rock, followed by an exploding arrow, sent them lurching toward the sound blocks away. He knew then, going in meant being more than just a thief. He had to be a ghost, quieter and stealthier than any lizardman before him. The sun beat down, high noon in the ruined city. Darkstar, the lizard thief, knew it was now or never. He peered down from the outer wall at the shambling horde of zombies below. Taking a deep breath, he leaped, landing on a crumbling rooftop. It groaned under his weight, dust and stone raining down on the undead. A few zombies looked up, their dead eyes locking onto him. No time to waste. Darkstar broke into a sprint, dashing across the ancient rooftops, deeper into the city's heart. The lizard thief scrambled across the crumbling rooftops, his scales catching the dim light. Below, the groans of the pursuing zombie horde echoed through the ancient city. Each leap was a gamble, the old stone threatening to give way under his light feet. But 100 years in the Thieves' Guild had honed his agility to a razor's edge. He was the best. He risked a glance at the tattered map clutched in his claws. Almost there, the amulet had to be in one of these buildings. Deep within the ruins of a zombie-infested city, the lizard humanoid thief, Darkstar, perched atop an ancient building. He reached into his pocket, pulling out a small, glowing orb. With a quick crush of his hand, a magical explosion he'd set earlier erupted by the city walls. Just as he'd hoped, the massive blast drew the horde of zombies away. Now, with the path clear, Darkstar leaped into action, his true mission beginning to search the crumbling structures for a legendary amulet. Darkstar, the lizard thief, had found it. The ancient ruined city held the building exactly where the map led. He knew at once this was a thieves' guild. The giant lizard guild leader hadn't mentioned the amulet was here, in the guild's original home from centuries ago. Most of the building was a dilapidated mess. Climbing through a second-story hole, Darkstar landed in what looked like an old dorm room. Everything seemed ready to crumble, but thankfully, no zombies. Every crick of the floorboards sent a shiver down my scales. I moved deeper into the Thieves' Guild's ancient, rotting home, my eyes darting into every shadow, half expecting a zombie to lunge out. The place was picked clean, just dust and memories left behind. Then, I found it, an old office, practically untouched. And there, set into the floor, an ancient safe. My heart hammered in my chest. If the amulet was anywhere, it had to be in there. Time to get to work. The old floorboards creaked as the lizard thief finally cracked the safe hidden beneath the office floor. But his luck had just run out. The moment the heavy door swung open, an ancient alarm blared, echoing through the ruined guild hall. He froze. He knew that sound would bring them, the horde of zombies he'd barely escaped earlier. With no time to spare, he snatched the magical amulet from the safe's dark interior. Now, he had to get out, and fast, and got the prize. But now the whole city's undead residents want a piece of me. I scrambled to the nearest rooftop. Just out of their grasp, an exploding arrow into the city's heart pulled half the horde away. But damn it, I'm still surrounded. These guys are relentless. I can't stay here. I have to move faster, think faster. It's a long way out, and I'm running out of tricks. Let's see what this old lizard's got left. The rooftops crumbled underfoot, but the lizard thief was faster. Just one step ahead of the ravenous zombie horde. He raced through the ruins of the ancient city, with the dead end fast approaching. He knew it was now or never. He pulled out his last resort, a dagger imbued with a single potent spell. With a disparate slash, he tore a shimmering portal in the air. Leaping through, he opened a second one, a full block ahead, just at the city's edge. He tumbled out safely, leaving the zombies far behind. He'd done it. The lizard thief scrambled out of the ancient city, the groans of the magical zombie horde fading behind him. Clutched in his claws was the prize, a glowing, powerful amulet. He'd made it, but his luck ran out fast. Suddenly, he was surrounded. A troop of heavily armed frog dog soldiers blocked his path. "You're coming with us," croaked their captain as two soldiers grabbed the thief, amulet and all. What happens next? Find out in our next episode.